Rabbitohs Radio Podcast, the number one source for everything South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Welcome to another edition of Rabbitohs Radio. My name is Grant Chappell. I'm joined by my loyal co-host and friend, Darren Brownie Brown. It's Teamless Tuesday, mate. Round 13, Brownie.
Yeah, it certainly is, and just about nearly halfway of the halfway mark of the competition, chaps, and we're going along nicely. And like you said, it is Teamless Tuesday, and g'day to all the viewers out there. And you chaps, yourself, how you been?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. I enjoyed the bye weekend, mate. We had a big board riders contest down there Saturday. A great community day. I had a few mates down from up the coast and went out that surf and wave pool last night. It was pissing down rain, but 15 degrees in the water. But, mate, it's good fun, that thing, huh?
Yeah, well, I haven't been out there, chaps, but I was down at the board riders on the Saturday. It was a great day. There was some nice waves for all the surfers out there, and yeah, like you said, a great community event. Everybody gets involved, and yeah, you do a wonderful job down there at the North Maroubra Board Riders.
Yeah, plenty of fun. You can jump on their Instagram page at NMSR to follow the action there. The great John Sutton, the 300 Gamers, a member down there. You might see some other South players, mate. Look, speaking of community, I mean, junior rugby league clubs are basically communities, aren't they, Brownie? Your mascots, your Lapa Roosters and whatnot. It's Junior Appreciation Round, and the NRL is starting to recognise that over the last couple of years. And this weekend, we finally got a day game, Brownie. We don't get many day games at Accor Stadium, and 2 p.m. this Sunday we play the Warriors, and I reckon it's going to be a fair crowd out there, mate.
Yeah, great time slot, isn't it, for people who want to go out there and spend the day out there, chaps. It's great for the kids. They can get out there and watch the footy throughout the day, and there's a lot to do out there. And like you said, the Junior Appreciation Round, South Sydney Juniors, one of the strongest junior league clubs in the in the competition, and they've produced many first graders from the juniors, and yeah, just a wonderful event, this Sunday.
You would have played with a few junior clubs, Brent. Who do you consider your junior club, mate?
Look, like you said, I had a couple of junior clubs. Mascot, played with Kenzo United, and mainly the Waterloo Waratahs, where I sort of like went my last couple of years. Played for the Waterloo Waratahs, yeah, just down the road from where I lived, Redfern there.
Yep.
And
Parramatta colours, over.
Parramatta colours, yeah, the blue and gold, sponsored by the George Hotel. The great Tugger Coleman come through the grades there as well. So
Yep.
yeah, played my last couple of years there at Waterloo. Got beaten in the grand final there by Lapa Roos. Sean Garlick, Graham Lyons played for them. Troy Stewart. And the great RD13 was our coach. So, yeah, great times, great memories.
Some great names there. Well, Artie's still coaching at the Roosters jersey flag with Dean Feeney, so still involved in the game. Bit like yourself, mate, doing the Rabbitohs Radio podcast with this ugly mug over here on your right-hand side. But, yeah, I played a bit of junior footy myself, Brownie, and I chose the South Sydney colours, mate, Maroubra Lions, mate. Nicknamed the Lexo Lions, they called them, but the red and green, mate, because the closest thing I'd wear a South jersey, mate. I wasn't as talented as yourself, mate.
Well, the great Ian Roberts come through the grades there, I think. He
played for the Maroubra Missiles, but he might have played a bit for the Maroubra Lions as well, yeah. Well, Peter Mamazoulis, one of our squad members at the moment, who's coming back from injury. I believe he's about 4 weeks away. The little tough little hooker himself.
Snape Park?
Yeah, Snape Park. I think it was an old rubbish tip back in the 1920s, but they've turned into a rugby league ground, and yeah, it was a great little ground down there. Geez, they did a good hot dog, Brownie. Yeah. Hot dog on the sesame seed roll with a bit of tomato sauce.
Yeah, junior league, it's great times and great memories. Cast your mind back, of a Sunday, you'd go and, play your junior league game and then head up to Redfern to watch the Bunnies play after that game.
Oh, yeah. Can't beat it. Anyway, there's going to be over 600 participants. I think my youngest daughter's going to be one of them out there walking around the field there representing the Southeastern Seagulls, one of the stronger clubs in the area at the moment. They're going to give away 800 Wahoo Rabbitohs football, so there's plenty of reasons to get out there for the kids. They're going to kick them out there in the crowd and all that sort of stuff, and some giveaways, and 2 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon, you'll be home in plenty of time to have the Sunday roast at home with Mum at 6 o'clock. So give yourself plenty of times to get out there. Anyway, it's Wayne Bennett's 950th game.
Amazing.
Did he start coaching when he was 2 or what?
Yeah.
Mate, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's an amazing milestone for Wayne Bennett. A couple of premierships along the way. He's coached at a number of different clubs and arguably one of the greatest coaches that we've seen in the NRL. And yeah, it's like I said, a great milestone for Wayne this coming weekend, and hopefully the boys can get up for it and get a win for him.
Yeah, it's pretty much an unchanged lineup from the last couple of wins. The Broncos, they knocked off the Tigers. Similar circumstances, pretty tough, gritty wins. And then we've got, obviously, Origin Wednesday night. Fingers crossed Latrell gets through the game. Campbell Graham is still on standby. I think they brought in a bit of cover for Campbell Graham. I think Burton comes into the squad to cover Campbell Graham. Campbell Graham covers Critter, who's not 100% at the moment. Look, let's hope Critter plays because he's a fair player. Critter in great form. But I suppose there's a possibility our man Campbell Graham gets a run at Origin, Brownie.
Yeah, well, I think cast your mind back when Campbell Graham was ruled out of State of Origin. Critter took Campbell's spot. Now, Critter's got a little bit of doubt about him. Corked his thigh at training the other day, and reports there that he limped off with a big ice pack on his leg. And there's a possibility that Campbell can take his spot. So, yeah, just reverse the roles somewhat. But, yeah, look, if Campbell gets his opportunity, I'm sure he'll do the state and himself proud.
Oh, yeah, he's tough as they come. Wholehearted player. He hardly has a bad game. Coming off one of his better games against the Tigers, he was outstanding, and I think the selectors have had a good look at that one, and they're happy with what they've seen. Look, be able to name that unchanged lineup, and it's good to see the spine sort of get a bit of continuity. Your Harveyleys, Jamie Humphreys, your Bud Sullivans, Latrell Mitchell at fullback's been playing really well. His positional play's been outstanding. So to get those sort of guys named a few weeks in a row, we haven't done that this year. I think the first 9 rounds of the season, Brownie, we either lost a player to injury or suspension, or we'd lose 2 players. It was just non-stop.
Yeah, I think
movement.
we had 6 or 7 different halves pairings in a row. So to have the same halves pairing, the same spine for a couple of weeks in a row, and look, like you just indicated, Latrell's got to get through State of Origin unscathed, and we've got one of the longest turnarounds of the weekend. We don't play until Sunday, so yeah, to have that same spine a couple of weeks in a row is only going to give the boys confidence and get them combinations running pretty hot.
And South did a bit different. They gave him a full more than 7 days off, I think. It was about 8 or 9 days off. So you could have went on a holiday or freshen up, catch up with friends, and, really the old less is more attitude they've got there. Speaking to football manager Jason Clark, that's the approach they've made. This week they've ramped it up. They train Monday. They've trained today. They're going to train Thursday. Captains run Saturday. So there's a bit more of on the program this week because long turnaround. Look, the last couple of years, I don't think we've won coming off a bye for about 3 or 4 years. So. They're just doing something a little bit different this year and seeing how it works. And now I got a chance.
The boys did have a race day, so I know there was a race day for all the sponsors and a lot of the corporate out there at Randwick. So yeah, I'm sure the boys all got out there and had a bit of a mingle with with all the corporate and all the people that get behind the.
Some of the members got to go there, depending if they wanted to pay the money to go. I think it was about nearly $400, so it was a fair whack, but you get food and drinks there for 4 hours or whatever it is, or 6 hours.
Back the first winner and you got your money back.
Well, that's it. I asked Jamie Humphreys how his week off was. If you want to go back and have a look at that episode.
Great interview, John.
Just a little 5-minute one. He was getting bombarded by the media. Got a little sneaky one in there. Lovely kid. Yeah. Very well spoken. Very proud of his junior football club. I think it was De La Salle. Yeah. Him and...
strong club out there at Caringbah.
I think Ewan Aitken was a
competition.
Was he a De La Salle junior as well? I think he came up on there as well. So a couple of our players are from that De La Salle team, a big, huge junior club over in the Cronulla Sutherland district. Yeah, so give that Jamie Humphreys little interview a listen. He's a good little fella there. Brownie, looking at it also, Keon, geez, he's been in great form. You've probably seen some of the shorts we've been putting up lately. I saw him training on Tuesday. Just got big, defined, muscly arms, and mate, he's up for the challenge. I think you're going to see him sit there at the. We put a poll up, and it was 100% whether Keon should play front row or back row. Yeah, he's 100%. The fans want him in the front row.
Yeah, well, he was moved to the front row for a couple of weeks last year through our injury crisis, and he did a tremendous job there last year as well. Like we indicated every week, he can play big minutes. He's a big body, and we need that big body up the middle. And his stats were unbelievable last week. And like you just indicated, chaps, we put a poll up and a bit of a post. And I did state that it was probably one of the best front row performances that I've seen in the red and green jumper from a front row, and it certainly was. And he was outstanding last week, the week before as well. So it's been a masterstroke to move him into the middle. Something had to be done because it just wasn't working for our middles. Jai Arrow had a great game in the middle last week, and they've retained their spots this week. So, yeah, well done to Keon and Jai.
Yeah, and it's a big top 8 clash, Brownie. They're coming third. They've had a great season, really consistent out of that Vegas game. Look, they were beaten by Canberra yet again. There was nothing in that game. I think it was 10-all, and the Raiders have skipped away with that with a try there, and they just kept coming all game. They're not going to go away, this Warriors team. They're very much similar to the South Side. They play a pretty simple brand of footy, Brownie, a bit of a power game. The halves are pretty quick, but they're not crazy skillful. A bit like our halves, I suppose you'd say.
He's in really good form, Metcalf, at the moment, isn't he?
He is.
There's a lot of talk around about how good he's going.
How quick is he?
Yeah. He's got a step on him. He likes to run the ball. So our boys have really got to be on to contain him this week.
And Tamare Martin off the bench. He's been killing them in New South Wales Cup. I think the other week he had like 5 or 6 try assists in one game in Cup. So they forced their hand. They brought him up. He's going to be off the bench. Someone we're going to have to contend with. Very good at squaring teams up and putting blokes through holes. So very, very talented side, the Warriors. Leka Halasima in pretty much his rookie season, you'd call it. He's another one you're going to have to contend with off the bench. Reminds me a bit of Ali Lauatiti back in the day. Can hold the ball like he's holding an orange. He runs really strong. He's got a great offload on him. Really one that we're going to have to look out for, mate. And obviously they're extremely tough. James Fisher-Harris back in the front row. He's been out for a week or two with suspension. Barnett in the front row. Wade Egan, one of the underrated hookers in the game, in my opinion. There's a bit to worry about this weekend.
Yeah, they're a well-balanced team, aren't they? Well coached. They've got a lot of experience there with a lot of youth coming through. So, yeah, like you said, it's no surprise that they're in the top 4 for a reason, chaps, and we've got to be certainly on our game. The benefit is that we're playing at home, and like you said, hopefully we can get a great crowd out there. We're looking to go 3 wins in a row. We're playing some okay footy. I think our attack's just got to improve a little bit more, but if we go out there with the effort and the commitment that we've had over the last 2 weeks, we're in with a big chance.
Well, you never know. The Warriors might not turn up with the right attitude. They might turn up thinking they've already beat South. Just looking at their attack the last few months hasn't been amazing, but their efforts have been there. So, look, I think we can get away with the win. If we get away with the win, it won't be much in it. Might be a point or 2 in it, I reckon.
Yeah, your ratings have been pretty good over the last couple of weeks, chaps, since I give you a little tips on how to rate these teams. But, like you said, chaps, as long as we got the commitment and the effort, we turn up, high completion, and we'll put ourselves in a position to win the game.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 on the weekend with the ratings. So there you go.
Geez, a lot of people got 0.
Yeah, I know. The only one I didn't get was the Roosters. Maybe I've got to give them a bit more credit. Got to give the Bondi Club a bit more credit.
You do, because they're going well, the Roosters.
I struggle.
I hate to say it.
I struggle in that regard, mate. On the injury front, some good news there about the star 5'8", Katie Walker, starting to get out in the field today. Did a little bit of running and not so much ball work, just a little bit of fitness out in the field, just to stretch out those calves and hammies to see how they're looking. That's good signs, mate.
Oh, it certainly is, and like we've indicated over the last couple of weeks, we certainly miss him in our attack, in our good ball position. A couple of options where we probably could have came up with tries last week had we made the right call. But Cody normally does that 90% of the time. So, look, we'll certainly welcome him back as quick as we can, because we certainly need him for our attack. But, that's good signs that he's back out on the paddock. And, chaps, a couple other injuries, Jack Whiten and Ty Munro. How are they tracking?
Yeah, Jack Whiten's probably not as far. I thought he was going to play this week, but I reckon he might target a game which is pretty close to his heart down there in the nation's capital, where he played a lot of played over 200 games down there. So I reckon he might just have the focus down there to play against the Raiders next weekend.
And
another big game.
Well, another big game and another day game. I'm pretty sure it's another
back-to-back day games.
Another Sunday game down there. Yep. So yeah, nice little temperature down there on a Sunday afternoon.
Yep, and the other one, I think it's the Cheese and Peter Mamazoulis. They're looking about that 4 weeks away now, so they're starting to track well. And unfortunately, in New South Wales Cup, you probably already know, but big Michaeli Ravalawa looks like he's torn a pec. So
wow,
that's a decent injury there, Brownie.
Yeah, it's a shame because
it'd be 12 weeks at least.
Yeah, he showed some great promise, didn't he? When he came to the club, he was really good for us. His power running, got injured and then came back through reserve grade last week, but only lasted 10 minutes in that New South Wales Cup game. And that's the first I've heard. I thought it was a shoulder injury. There was a lot of talk out there that it was a shoulder
Nothing
injury.
confirmed, but yeah, I'm hearing that he was getting scans today. So, yep. They're going to try to scan the pec to see what's doing there. It happens. There seems to be a lot of pec injuries. And he had a big chest on him too, the lad. He's a big unit.
Yeah, he's a strong boy.
You wouldn't want to have... He come flying off the wing to belt someone, but went flying through the air and his arm got stuck out. But
he's very powerful.
That's the way it goes. Ty Munro, I believe he's pretty much back to full fitness, Brownie. So expect him to be named. Possibly, he might even play Cup this weekend. You never know. That might be a little tip there for you. The speedster. Because I guess you look at it and think, but why didn't they just put him straight into first grade? Well, he's only played 8 games of NRL in 3 years. That's not a lot of games due to injury and whatnot. So I think the thinking might be just get him down a Cup, get some confidence up.
Yeah.
Come in because he likes to come in and belt blokes and that, drop the shoulder and that. So get his confidence up with a few tackles. Brandy, test out this new collarbone.
I think that might be the best way to go about it, especially after back-to-back injuries. Just nurture his way through now.
Yeah.
Don't rush Ty Munro. Get him ready, for the top level of footy, and build his confidence up, and just get some miles in his legs, and get some hits on them shoulders, and just make sure everything's ready to go by the time he hits the top level.
Yep, and New South Wales Cup and the Flag, they're going to play at Redfern Oval this week. So, yeah, that'll be an interesting game there. New South Wales Cup, they're a pretty good side, the Warriors, coming up against old mate Graham Taufau signing for next year. But the Jersey Flag too, Brandon, they're playing the Warriors a little bit earlier there, 11:15 a.m. Matthew Humphries, looks like he drops back there. I'm looking forward to calling that one.
Yeah, and they'll be looking to bounce back, chaps, after a disappointing loss last week. And like you said, there's a number of young kids. They're going to get their opportunity to play this weekend, coming up from the SG Ball program and the pathway system. And I'm sure they'll be all excited to get their first opportunity playing in the Jersey Flag.
Yep, for sure. If you haven't had a chance, Allianz v Accor Stadium debate on the Burrow podcast. Jump on and have a look at that. The Burrow podcast, a fantastic debate with Josh Camp and Mark Rayner. He's a relation of the great Jack Rayner. So jump on and have a look at that one. That might be about it for another edition of Rabbitohs Radio Podcast. Up the mighty Rabbitohs.
Up the Rabbitohs.